I want to tell you a story. Will you humor me and play along? Imagine it. You go to kindergarten. Your mother kisses you goodbye, wishes you a fun day, and leaves. You stand in front of an adult. They say hello to you. You know them. Kind of. You think you know them. They said hi to you. You must know them. You say hi, avoiding saying their name, and go find something to do. You sit down to color. You always loved coloring. Another child sits with you. They greet you by your name and you greet back. They know you. You must know them. Someone else calls their name and says hi. Ah, so that was their name. You say hi back. You go back to coloring. They call you for morning circle. One teacher is tall and round. The other is short and skinny. They chat with you and sing with you. Seeing them together, you briefly stumble over what they are called. Who has which name? The teachers say it is time to go play outside. Find your 3 buddies to go play. But looking around the room, you do not know who of these children you are friends with. You decide to sit at the sandbox. You do not enjoy running. It hurts and makes your mouth taste metallic. So you sit at the sandbox and count clover leaves growing by its side. A child runs up to you and pushes you into the sand, laughing and babbling before running off. You are stunned and confused. Are they playing with you? Shoving usually is in tag if they laugh, but you lost sight of the child. They were blonde. You are called back inside. Most children here are blonde. You choose to sit still and keep counting clover. In your imagination, you are a tiny fairy jumping from leaf to leaf, and nobody is bothering you. You sit down to eat. Noodles with a red sauce. Then, you know, you want to color. You go to color. The table is full. You go to play with blocks. A child is sitting by the blocks, but makes some space for you. You know this child. Something about them is. You forget about the time until the room seems to become more bustling, and then more quiet. It is pickup time. A child approaches you and asks you why you didn't play with them today, and that you should play tomorrow. The teacher heard that. They approach you, asking you if you had fun at kindergarten today. They ask why you played alone and that you need to play with. You freeze, unsure how to respond. Which name belonged to which person? Or is it which person belonged to which name? An adult calls to you. That adult. You know their coat. You run to them and you know their smell, their hands. You go to school. You are a little late for class. Students are rushing around you, running into the school building. You struggle behind, avoiding the noise and the people. You reach the classroom. An adult stands in front of the class, your teacher, you assume. You see this teacher twice a week. They will expect an apology for being a minute late or so. The teacher gives you a look that is difficult to read and sends you to sit down. Around you, the other students are giggling and whispering. When you sit down, a classmate lets you know that this is a substitute teacher, not your regular one. You want to sink into the floor with embarrassment, but hide behind your books for the rest of the class. Your teacher tells you off for playing around, tells you to keep your hands still and eyes to the front. What a miserable lesson. The bell rings. Class is over. You drag yourself out of the classroom. The hallway is full of students and adults. One student approaches you and says hello. You know the student. She has blue hair. Nobody else has blue hair. You are friends. You say hi. Together, you leave the building. You go to sit together on a bench to eat your packed lunches, but you discover that you forgot your lunch. Today is truly not your day. Frustrated tears are in your eyes. You start to vent, explaining to your friend what happened in class. She tells you that you need to pay more attention, says you are a bit weird, but lovable. But you do not understand how you are weird for confusing your teacher for someone else. She says that only would happen to stupid people, but that you aren't stupid, you just don't pay attention. You get up to buy lunch. Your cheeks are burning hot. It hurts to walk because your stomach is so balled up. Do you even want to eat something? The lunch hall is full. Nothing is right. The line isn't right. The people should be sitting down and eating, but it is so loud and bustling. You can't even get to the counter and people ignore you when you try to get by. The food smells weird. Pasta with red sauce. No. This isn't your normal daily lunch sandwich. This isn't your smells, your noise, your comfort. It's just too much. It's too much. You run out of the cafeteria. It feels as if every pair of eyes is on you as you try to get out. You run and hide in some bushes behind the school, trying to catch your breath and let the intense pressure in your stomach subside. Once you feel calmer, you step out of hiding and return to class. Your friend asks where you have been. You do not know how to answer, so you sit down. A woman enters the classroom. You assume it is your teacher. She is walking right up to you, holding something in her hand. The woman looks irritated and tells you she came all the way here just to bring you your lunch during her break. To not forget it at home again. Her voice, it slowly dawns on you that this is your mother. Another adult enters the room, and the woman goes to speak to them before leaving. You leave behind your box. Every person in the room seems to be staring at you. There's some laughing. You try very hard to stare at your book and pretend there is a little figure jumping between the lines, a carefree acrobat. Class is finally over. You get up to leave, but your friend has gone ahead without you. She must be annoyed at you. You think to yourself how you have to figure out something to explain and apologize so she doesn't hate you anymore. You follow the flow of students out of the building and towards the road. As you walk, you suddenly feel someone's hand on your behind, grabbing and squeezing you. You are startled and shocked, but you manage to turn around and look at who did it. The older teenager laughs at you, says something, but your heart is racing so fast in fear you barely hear it. Your head is light with panic. They walk back into the crowd and you lose sight. People are giggling. Why are they giggling? You break. At the road, your mother's car is parked. You approach, and your mother somehow seems to know something is wrong. She approaches you and asks what is wrong. Your mother has a strange look on her face, almost annoyed. But she sighs and just tells you to get into the car. You go to work. You are a little late. Quickly, you head inside to get to your cubicle. A colleague greets you in the hallway. They ask you if you have a minute. No problem. They ask you to find them later. They go back to their conversation. Hopefully you can find them again. Why must the dress code be so restrictive? As you ponder on this, you go to your desk in the far right corner of the office. You sit at your desk to start your work. As your computer boots up, you try to take some notes. There's an email waiting for you on your screen, telling you to meet with your boss in her office. You put the computer back in sleep mode and get right back up. You enter your boss's office. Your boss wants to discuss your performance during your probation period, as it is due to end in just a few days. Your work is fine, but she says you need to improve your communication skills. She tells you to work hard and get this sorted out. Then she sends you back to work. You sit back at your desk and start to work. You have to push numbers around a spreadsheet. Lunchtime. You go to the break room. Your colleagues are chatting and joking. You sit at the table to eat your bagged lunch, your sandwich. A colleague sits across from you, eating from a plate of noodles with a red sauce. They ask if you have a moment to chat. You think for a moment. They are blonde. The colleague who asked to talk earlier this morning was also blonde. Maybe it is the same person? They give you a strange look and remind you that they asked you to find them earlier. But you never did. Your colleague tells you the CEO is making a surprise visit later. They need you to bring a file with confidential information to them when they arrive. They tell you it's the CEO. Surely you've seen their picture in the employee newsletter or something. That's not super helpful to you, is it? But maybe they don't know either. You finish your lunch and go to walk around the office for a little before returning to your cubicle. You go to your file cabinet to find the correct file. It is so cluttered, you choose to clean it up a bit. You got so sidetracked you forgot the time. Quickly, you rush to the hallway. Hopefully, the CEO is still there. You see an important-looking person standing at the entrance, like they are waiting for someone. That must be the CEO. The person takes the file with a strange look on their face and says nothing. You head back inside to finish your work for the day. As you go back to your cubicle, your mother sends you a text. She wants to know how your day is going and if you will come visit for dinner tonight. While you start texting your reply, you get a mail from your boss. It tells you to meet her in her office immediately. You enter your boss's office again. Your boss does not look happy. She reveals that you gave the confidential file to a client who was waiting for a consultation instead of the CEO. She interrupts you. She asks you why you did not double-check or ask for confirmation before handing out the sensitive data. Why did you not just ask her? She would have helped you. Your boss tells you to get out and go home. She will think about what to do about this after she fixes your mess. But she tells you to go get your eyes checked. As you step out of the building, you call your mother. You're going home much earlier than you intended. You ask her for help as you go to your car.